What's going on, all you minties? It is the Uncanny Omar, and it is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm doing this by myself, so I am on time. I don't have to wait on anybody, so it's great. Thank you for joining me on this Friday night. By the way, since I'm doing this by myself, let me know if you can hear me, or if you just see some jerk here moving his lips. Um, so while I wait for some people to come on in, let's answer some questions. It's just really nice. The fact that Omar gets advanced notices is great, so we know what to expect. And it's nice. Marvel at least gives an approximate month for new collections and omnis get released, so plans can be made to try to budget around big purchases. Yes, thank you very much, Jesse. Say what? Always here first. We can hear you. Awesome. I both hear you and other things. Well, you need to get your head checked, my man. What is up, Omni fans? Yes, yes. Did he announce the Marvel Classics yet? That's the only further out I see on the hachette. Yes, I did. I think I announced that two months ago, if I'm not mistaken. That one comes out, I believe, in May. Omar the Prophet. No, I am not. No, I am not. But thank you, Uncanny Brother. Thank you. And there's one thing. Okay, has Omar stopped doing his monthly haul videos? No, I haven't. As a matter of fact, the reason why I haven't done one yet is because I was waiting on one of my last packages that should be here, I hope, sometime this weekend. So you'll be seeing that. No, I have not, because there's things that I still purchase. I still purchase a lot. So you'll be seeing that on the channel. And as a reminder, tomorrow is going to be when I announce the 7. What's up, Kenny? What's up, scoundrel? Trying to say hi to everybody. The 7 Marvel Masterworks for the fourth quarter of 2020. And remember, the contest as of now is over. So no more comments on that video. Good luck to everybody. By the way, for those watching, one of the Masterworks is going to be on this list. So that's why I had to wait until 8 p.m. So nobody can go back and change anything. So here we go. You'll be seeing one of those Masterworks on this list when we go through it. And if you guessed that, then tune in on Sunday when I unveil the winners. Because, oh my gosh, I didn't expect that many people to actually try to guess what the Masterwork was. This was a lot of fun. And I had a lot of good luck to everybody, and I hope we got a couple winners that really want these Omnis. So the 2 Omnis I'm giving away are, of course, Astonishing X-Man and Uncanny X-Force. Yeah, so, and it is open worldwide. So y'all gonna break me again with these shippings. Omar, if you could get one reprint of the following, which would you get? Daredevil, Bendis, both. Annihilation, Astonishing X-Men, or oh my gosh. Oh, dude, you threw Annihilation and Astonishing X-Men in there? Woo! Sell one of your kidneys and get you Annihilation, Astonishing X-Men, and Uncanny X-Force. But if I had to pick one, this is just me, I would get Astonishing X-Men. That would be my answer. Not sure what the rest of the chat would say, but that's my answer. I love that story. It's a good love letter to the Claremont X-Men. Very much enjoy your channel. You're making this. Much love back to you. Comics with Bueller. And let me wait for a couple more people to jump in, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Will you do a DC monthly previews, or are they just not that reliable? It's not that they're not reliable. It's usually by the time I get these. So what Marvel does, by the way, well, I do have a lot of people in here now. I do want to give a shout out to David Gabriel and the folks at Marvel, because they literally put this together for us here at Near Mint Condition. So it is amazing. Like, they put just the collected editions. Like, we don't have access to the comics coming out. And it's funny because just the other day he was like, you can have it. Just wait a second. Don't say anything yet. I have to do something. And I didn't know what that something was, right? And he had to he told me through email, like, oh, I had to go and tell Alex Ross that we were going to use one of his covers on a book. And I wanted to tell him before you announced it. And I was like, that's such a cool sentence, man. You just literally had to go and thank you so much, honey. You had to tell Alex Ross that I was going to announce one of his covers on one of the books. That's so cool. I was like, your job is so amazing. So thank you, David Gabriel and Marvel Comics. I am drinking wine tonight because it is Friday night and I ain't going nowhere. I'm here with you fine folks. Let's see. Omar, what do you think of people saying that Omnis hurt the timeliness in which epics get printed or vice versa? I've heard people say that Omnis and epics split audiences. No, not at all. And oh man. Hey, there you go, guys. I am not David Gabriel. I am Omar, Uncanny Omar. So two different people, despite of what you all think. See? What do I think? I don't think one affects the other, honestly, just because of the releases like that we've had. I think Omnis are doing their own thing, and I think the people that collect, like, there's me, I get both, right? I get them all, but there's a lot of people, like my boy Justin Page here, who buys them both, right? There's a lot of people that buy both, so it doesn't really hurt, I don't think. And they've been releasing things that have been collected, and like look at the Spider-Man Venom Epic Collection, and then you have the Omnibus, right? So there you go. I don't think one affects the other. I think now there are several people buying these two different formats, and it's wonderful because I love both, and I want to see more and more. So, and now we can get started because Shifty Shifts is here calling me Bromar, my man. All right, so Maya, hey, shout out to Maya. Love Maya. Now, let's get started, shall we? Because, like I said, there's going to be a Masterworks in here, and I'll be announcing the rest of them tomorrow on the channel. And I'm really excited for those wonderful people that collect the Masterworks, and also for the people that have entered a contest. So if you see this one and you guessed it, stay tuned to see who the winners are. Now, let me share my screen really quick. By the way, I've got my tablet up, so because I don't have a co-host with me, and I can actually see what you all are typing in this way. Hold on one second. Let you see the whole full screen here. There we go. And let me know if I'm going too fast. If you want me to go back and highlight something, please let me know in those in the video. Okay, so kicking off May, we have The Art of Adam Kubert. Love that cover. I've always had such a tough choice for me who the best Wolverine artist is. Like my childhood says, of course, Mark Silvestri and Adam Kubert. So these are wonderful hardcover books. They've done The Art of Conan, and they're doing The Art of Savage Sword of Conan. And I can't wait for books like these. I love them. They've done them in the past too, like Joe Quesada, The Art of Joe Quesada. And here we go. So if you've guessed this one, here's your first masterwork. Coming out in September, Marvel Masterworks The Defenders Volume 7. Again, these have 2 covers. So if you were one of the people that guessed Defenders, you're in the drawing for the books that I'm giving away. And this collects Defenders 58 through 75 and Marvel Treasury Edition number 16. So there you go. One I'm so excited to talk about. Hey, let's zoom in a little bit. Here we go. One at a time. Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 2. And in the past, Marvel had only been reprinting just what are called the standard covers that go to Amazon and Barnes & Noble, not the direct market covers. But now they see such an interest in reprints that they're doing both covers, and I think that's great because now you have this choice. Because you always have people that are complaining like, "Oh man, I wanted this cover," and it's funny because you always want the cover that's not available. But now you have your choice. Volume 2 of Uncanny X-Men is being reprinted. I've already announced Volume 1 that's coming out this summer, but this comes out in September. So excited for you people that have never read this. This to me, like, bar none, I don't care if people disagree with me, it is the best thing I've ever read in my life. Not the best comic, not the best, like the best thing I've ever read in my life was Chris Claremont's X-Men. not hyping it up. I swear, that's the way I feel. So this collects the stuff that right after Volume 1, so taking off from Uncanny X-Men, well, it was known as X-Men back then, 132 to 141, and then when it changes over to Uncanny during Days of Future Past, all the way to 153. Collecting the annuals 4 and 5, and then the Avengers annual number 10, which is the first appearance of Rogue, who will play a bigger role later on. Marvel Treasury Edition 2627, Bizarre Adventures 27, Phoenix the Untold Story, which some people have been asking me if it was collected in here, and material from Marvel Fanfare 1 through 4, and Marvel Team Up 100. The best thing about this, it's $100. That is the exact same retail price that it was before. So the prices did not go up on this. For those of you wondering, and you know what? It doesn't matter because a few months ago these books were out of print and going for well over $200 and things like that on the secondary market. So here you go. There's a question: how quick does this sell out? I always tell people to try to pre-order if they can, but I think most of my viewers, you all usually buy day one. I'm pretty sure. Like, you guys wait until it comes out that first week and buy it because most places have them for a discounted price that week. I don't know. I think the DM will sell out faster than, of course, your standard edition. So the DM, just in case you're new to this channel, is the direct market cover. These are available only at comic book stores, places like cheapgraphicnovels.com, In Stock Trades, Tales of Wonder. And then you have the standard edition, which goes on sale places like Amazon and Barnes & Noble and Walmart, Target. I know I've bought Omnis through Target, so I can't be the only one. And they have two different covers. So you have the original cover, which is what they keep for the DM, the direct market. And then you have the new cover. Usually it's an updated image of the original cover, an homage to an original cover, or it's just a brand new drawing by a young gun or a recent artist, I guess. But that is Volume 2. And of course, the big one that I don't know how many times you all have asked me on the channel, through comments, through messages, through Instagram and Twitter, when is this getting reprinted? And my honest answer was always, I don't know. And here it is. Infinity Gauntlet Omnibus, both covers. Both covers are being, the same material as was collected before, for the exact same price, $125. That's how much it was before. So that's wonderful that these prices are being, like, it's crazy. Like, as far as reprints, they're keeping the exact same price. That's wonderful. I'm so happy for you people that finally can get this. Go out and buy Infinity War, because I don't want you all to get Infinity Gauntlet, then Infinity War sells out, and you're like, what am I going to do when Infinity Crusade comes out? But there you go. There is Infinity Gauntlet. You have both covers. You have the Jim Starlin cover and, of course, the George Perez. Man, I love that George Perez image. And a new omnibus. This is Venom. So let's minimize this really quick so we can look at it together. So you have two covers again. You have the direct market cover, and then you have the standard edition cover. The direct market cover is the Deodato Jr. That's the one here with the tongue. So, here's a really good question. This is my personal opinion. Omar, do you prefer the new covers or the DM covers? I honestly, I know people are going to slaughter me because I think most people my age go for the original covers, but I like the new covers because the way I figured it was I have access to that original cover in the book, so I might as well get something new. There were only, I think, 2 times that I bought the standard edition or the new, or the DM. And that was Conan the Barbarian, the original Marvel years by Barry Windsor Smith. I chose that over the John Cassidy cover, and New Warriors. I chose Mark Bagley over the Scotty Young. So the only 2 times. Let's see. So now we are looking at Venomnibus Volume 3. So again, Sam Keith cover. And then I really, really like this Mike Deodato Jr. It's just the tongue. That's awesome. So let's look at the contents of this. So my buddy Riley and I, we were trying to guess the mapping on these things. We got a lot of it right, but then we were completely off because I did not see some of these. Like, yeah, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, 9 through 10. That is the second series. That's from the late '90s. Then you have the Nova 16 through or number 7. That's the Eric Larson series of Nova. Amazing Spider-Man 12, the A story, in 19. Spectacular Spider-Man 1 through 5. That's the 2003 series. Venom, that's the Daniel Way stuff, 1 through 8. That's the one that's kind of like a horror, The Thing meets Venom. And let's see. Venom versus Carnage. We called that. I knew that we were going to put that on there. That's awesome. And Marvel Knight Spider-Man also called that. Oh, that's great. I love when I'm sorry, I'm dorking out here. When I expect books to be in an omnibus, and I'm like, yes, I totally would have put that in there. Sensational Spider-Man 38 and 39, Spider-Man Fantastic Four number 2, and material from Spider Family 1 and 2. So $125 for both the direct market and the standard edition. Now, here's War of the Realms. So excited for this. I would have lost this bet, but War of the Realms Omnibus is the first Jason Aaron Thor omnibus we're getting. I really thought we would have gotten a Jason Aaron Thor omnibus before this, but good thing I'm not a betting man. So it is $75, and let's look at the content really quick because I did email David about this one this morning actually, but he didn't get back to me because I know he's really busy on Friday. So as soon as I find out, I will let you all know. So I emailed him about if the content was correct because I remember him telling me that everything's going to be included. Not that I knew what they left out before. So this has War of the Realms 1 through 6, War of the Realms Omega 1, Thor 12 through 16, and Avengers 18 through 20. I'm so glad they put those in there. And War of the Realms War Scrolls 1 through 3. So I really thought this was going to be a bigger omnibus that's going to collect all the miniseries and things like that. So I did email him about that. As soon as I find out if this is correct, I will let you all know. But I'm pretty sure because it's in here, this is the correct material. And doesn't mean that those miniseries aren't going to be collected in a companion oversized hardcover, kind of like the way they did Avengers versus X-Men. So 352 pages, $75. There are 2 covers. You have the Arthur Adams cover, which is the direct market cover. But oh my gosh, that gorgeous Russell Dauterman cover right here. There's a question right now. Omar, should I get King Thor 1 through 4 or wait for the OHC? Well, really, that's all there is, though. I think it's just those 4 issues. So I don't know how they're going to be collected. Honestly, I don't know if they'll end up collecting it in some kind of a companion, or if they'll be, whenever they get to the Jason Aaron Thor omnibus, I'm sure they'll be put in there. But yeah, I wouldn't wait. Get the trade paperback. There you go, David. Even David saying don't wait. Hey David, thank you so much for putting these together for us. We really appreciate you, and I'm sure everybody in the chat knows how much we all boast about you and how much we love Marvel and you guys. So, moving on. Here it is. Here's another one. It's going to be another omnibus heavy month. We have Thanos and the Infinity Saga omnibus. So, this has got 2 covers. You have the Del Keown cover, and you have the Jim Starlin cover. And again, like Riley and I have mapped it out, this is the stories of the Jim Starlin stuff that he did for the original graphic novels and stuff. So I'm so glad we're finally getting this in one sitting. It's $100, 984 pages. Man, I really dig both covers. And let me know in the comments down below what you all want, which covers you would get. I think I like that Keown cover a little more. All right, so remember when I said when I give you all the previews of all the books that Marvel's putting together, when I say this is the 4th quarter, now wait around because they also like to sneak in a good sneak, right? Sneak in things last second to put in the solicitations. Well, they did because I just announced, not only 50 new Omnis, but also 7 reprints, right? And they got another reprint in here. So it's freaking awesome. But Eternals Omnibus is being reprinted. It's got 2 covers. So it's got the direct market cover with the Jack Kirby cover right here. And then the Alex Ross. This cover's awesome cover. So the Eternals Omnibus, for all those people that were like, how are they going to miss this chance? They're coming out with a movie. So there you go, guys. There you go. This is awesome that they're reprinting this, because I remember when I saw the reprint list, I'm like, oh man, I really thought they were going to do Eternals. Oh well. And David was like, well, there's one surprise in there. He didn't tell me what it was because he knows how much I love being surprised as much as you all. So there you go. Eternals is coming back into print. Let's go down and keep going. We have another Morbius. This is the Preludes and Nightmares trade paperback. This is the stuff by Jerry Conway, Roy Thomas. So collecting a lot of the stuff from the 60s and 70s. So his first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man and all the stuff from Marvel Team Up, Fear number 20, and then Amazing Spider-Man 699.1, which is the later series. Hold on. Legion Quests. It's not a reprint? Is Eternals not a reprint? Oh, wait. Did they add things in here? Oh, whoa. Thank you so much. I think, let me see. How did I miss this? Oh, this is a different Eternals. This is, oh, they did the same thing with Squadron Supreme. Okay, so they added more stuff in here. So this is a new, oh, dude, that's awesome. I'm so glad you pointed that out, man. And I'm glad I got my tablet open. Thank you so much. Shout out to Legion Quest for going through here and looking at the select. Okay, so let's look at this Eternals. This collects Eternals 1 through 19, annual number 1, and then the 1985 series 1 through 12. Man, that's awesome. So it's the old Omni with new material. Eternals, the Herod Factor, New Eternals Apocalypse. Now, Iron Man Annual 6, Avengers 246 through 248, and material from What If 23 through 30. That is awesome. Dude, good catch. So it's got the Grunwald stuff in there. And hence why Mark's in here. That's awesome. Jack Kirby, Walter Simonson, Peter Gillis, Roy Thomas. I didn't even catch that. Good catch, man. Then the Iron Man stuff. All right. So thanks for that. I really appreciate that. And let's see what else we got. Went through Morbius. Love it when the chat gets into it as much as I do. Symbiote Spider-Man Alien Reality. This collects the Symbiote Spider-Man Alien Reality miniseries by Peter David and Greg Land. I love those first 5 issues of the original series. And Chip Zdarsky and Terry Dodson. This has to be X-Men and Fantastic Four. Yeah. So here is the X-Men Fantastic Four. This is the new series that was launched in late 2019 or 2020. Sorry, it was 2020. With the post-Hickman FF and X-Men crossover. Doctor Strange, Surgeon Supreme. This must be the first trade paperback of Mark. Yep, Mark Waid's series. I didn't know. Oh, I love Kev Walker. Dude's one of my favorite artists. Loved his run on Thunderbolts and Avengers Arena. So collecting the first 6 issues of that. That's a new series. Hopefully they'll get an oversized hardcover because I really enjoy having those in OHC. You have Jason Aaron's run, and then you have Donny Cates stuff. So I'm hoping Mark Waid will get that kind of love. Deadpool getting his first trade paperback from Kelly Thompson and Chris Bacalo. Somebody corrected me one time. Collecting the first 6 issues of that series. I've only read issue 1, and I really like the way that she writes Deadpool. I haven't read anything past that, though. But I remember I was thinking I'm really going to enjoy the way she writes him because I like the way that she wrote him in the Rogue and Gambit series. Mr. and Mrs. X. Justin Page, thank you so much for that super chat. Little help with the shipping for your contest. Love the channel, bro. Much love back to you, man. Thank you so much. So New Mutants, this must be the New Mutants trade paperback comes out in March. So this is all the stuff that's been collected before with the New Mutants. Color your own New Mutants. So here we go. We have Heckman and Rob Reyes, New Mutants. That one comes out in March. Yeah. To coincide with that movie coming out April 3rd, we're actually getting that movie. Then we have Captain Marvel Volume 3. I love this cover. I've only read the first trade, so I don't know how the story goes, but I love this Mark Brooks cover. That is so freaking awesome. I just heard taking down the Avengers with that really kick-ass outfit. I don't know what it is, but I love it. And it's Mark Brooks. This must be a new Nick Spencer Spider-Man. So we have Volume 8, Threats and Menaces trade paperback. $17.99, 37 through 42. I know a lot of you have been asking me if they're going to continue the OHC of Amazing Spider-Man, and right now I don't know. We're a few weeks away from the full catalog, so as soon as I find out, I will post the video and let you all know. Though I love looking at that full catalog with everybody too, because everybody starts jumping in and getting excited. It's a lot of fun. This must be volume 2 of Valkyrie Jane Foster volume 2, At the End of All Things. Collecting issues 6 through 10. Al Ewing, Jason Aaron. Oh my gosh. Torun Grombeck. Why do I have to pronounce the hardest names? Not like my last name's not easy to pronounce. Pere Perez, Cafu, and Ramon Rosanas. I can do those. And the cover is Mahmoud Asrar. Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's a cool cover. Savage Avengers. This must be volume 2, written by Jerry Duggan, Kim. Oh, Ron Guardian, Patrick Searcher, Kim Jacinto. This is volume 2, collecting issues 6 through 10 and annual number 1. I really enjoyed that first volume. I think I ended up reviewing it on the channel. I loved it. Came out of nowhere for me. I mean, it's Conan hang out with the Avengers. What's there not to love? This must be another. There are so. I love and okay, so I have this love and hate relationship with the movies because sometimes the movies I'm like, oh man, that movie's not coming out until 4 years from now. That means we won't get any really good collections until then. But I love when the movies come out because look at all this Black Widow material. I've done overviews of some on the channel. As a matter of fact, I'll be doing one on Sunday or Monday. I'm sorry. Beware the Black Widow Epic Collection. This is just amazing. That's awesome. Like all this material just coming out recently for that movie. And Marvel Knights. This is Devin Grayson, the Black Widow Complete Collection, written by, Devin Grayson and Greg Rucka. The Complete Collection trade paperback. Awesome. Fantastic Four. And are you all asking David about Omniboo? I told you I'd get him on the show so he could tell you all how to pronounce it. And y'all quit bugging that man about reprints. I think I bug him enough. Fantastic Four, Volume 5, Point of Origin. This is, Dan Slott's run on Fantastic Four, 14 through 19 with Paco Medina, but that's Nick Bradshaw on artwork. There you go. You heard it from the man himself. Now y'all can stop bugging me about that. We need more FF Omniboo. Feels like years since the last one. They reprinted the Byrne and the Jack Kirby Volume 1, didn't they? Was that 2018, I think, when that happened? So I guess, yes, it's years. Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider by Dennis Hopeless and Donny Cates. Jeff Shaw. So what's collected in here? Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider 1 through 5. Okay. Huh. That character is blown up. That's a good thing. I'm a big fan. Punisher Soviet. You had me at Garth Ennis. That's all you need to say. Garth, Ennis, Jason Burrows, Punisher, Soviet 1 through 6. I'm hoping once all these little miniseries, it's weird, right? When you're mapping these things out in your head, you're like, oh, I hope when Garth Ennis is done with all these Punisher miniseries, they'll collect them in a hardcover. And then I'm like, wait, I never want him to uh, be done with Punisher. I love his stories. I want him to keep going forever. Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider Ham, Apocalypse now. Trade paperback. This is the Zeb Wells stuff. Collecting Spider Ham 1 through 5. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse poster book. Love that movie. Can't wait for the next one. The Marvel art. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't know if you all are familiar with Mondo posters that they sell, but this is the Marvel Art of Mondo poster books. They usually release them when there's movies and things like that, or just they do posters of characters. Oh, they're wonderful. But now they're having a collection. That's awesome. 42 pages, $24.99 of Mondo poster book. I wonder how big that will be. Does it say 11 by 16? Okay. Hey, Walter Simonson. I know that run. Oh, got excited. It's the Acts of Vengeance Marvel Universe trade paperback. So we've had an Acts of Vengeance trade. It's the Acts of Avengers, and now this is the remaining stories that I was talking about on that video. Is Mr. David doing a surprise guest appearance at the end? No, I think he was just chiming in on the chat, seeing how he's a good guy. David's a great guy. Spider-Man: The Gauntlet Complete Collection Volume 2. I think it's been a year since the last one. Collecting, yeah, so this collects a lot of the stuff, the remaining stories from the Gauntlet. David Santa Gabriel. You guys. Avengers, Jonathan Hickman, The Complete Collection Volume 1. So here we go. Not a reprint of his Omnibus, because I really think this Omnibus went out of print just like 2 years ago. So I'd say it'll be a while on that one. But collecting Avengers 1 through 5, New Avengers 1 through 6, and Astonishing Tales Mojo World. Now, before you ask me how this is going to be split up, I'm pretty sure it's going to be split up just like the Omnibus and the hardcovers, where Hickman puts in the stories as he sees as they should be read. So, probably be issues 1 through 5 of of Avengers, and then issues 1 through 6 of New Avengers. So that's how they'll probably split them up. And then when the crossovers start, they'll probably start intertwining them more and more. So our first step of collection, we have Avengers, the Beachhead Earth trade paperback. Okay, this is a really funny thing. I think I had so many emails. I wait to ask David so many things until all these emails pile up and messages. I had so many emails and messages about this epic. They were like, can you please ask them to change it to the Kree Skrull War? And I'm like, dude, the Kree Skrull War is like trade paperbacks and hardcovers. I don't think they're going to change it. So there you go. I asked, and David said no. And I remember relaying the message to all these people. I'm like, I told you he'd say no, because there's so much material out there already called the Kree Skrull War. They have to change. Totally. That makes sense. Change the name of the epic. So this one's called This Beachhead Earth, collecting Avengers 77 through 97 and Incredible Hulk 140. $39.99, 504 pages of this classic Roy Thomas, John Buscema. Oh man, Neil Adams, come on. There's some awesome stuff in there. Now, one I'm excited for, don't know how I know my buddy Tim is a huge fan of Daredevil, but I love this story. This is the tail end of Ann Nesenti's stuff. So this is Daredevil Epic Collection Last Rites, Volume 15, collecting Daredevil 283 to 300, and then annual number 7. So that collects that run of Daredevil. Of Ann Nesenti's run, and then begins the D.G. Chichester run. Honestly, I really enjoyed that story. It's been collected in the Fall of the Kingpin before, and that's it. So a lot of this stuff is new to collected editions. And at this time, I'd like to remind everybody to please hit that like button. That would be awesome. And moving on to more epics. Conan Chronicles Epic Collection, Horrors Beneath the Stones. So This collects the Conan Road of Kings 1 through 12, and then Conan the Barbarian 1 through 6. So, in case you have the Colossal Conan, this stuff is not in those 3 big Colossal Conan books. Just leaving it in there. In case you have these, and I'm not sure how far Marvel plans to collect those things. I think they're probably gonna see how well the first one sells of the Kurt Busiek stuff. But this is way after Busiek had left Conan. So I don't know if this will make it into an omnibus or not. But if you have those 3 Colossal books from Dark Horse, these stories right here are not collected in those if you want to keep reading them. And finally, Conan the Barbarian, the original Marvel Years Epic Collection, The Coming of Conan. Collecting Conan the Barbarian 1 through 13 and Chamber of Darkness. Now, when this was originally solicited, this was solicited as a complete collection. And so many of you asked me, and I know somebody from, I think, the Epic Marvel podcast told Curtis, and they started some kind of petition. By the time I remember asking David, like, he had asked me if I had given his email away, and I'm like, no, why? He's like, because everybody keeps asking me about this book. So the question was if they could change Conan the Barbarian from complete collection to epic collection. And I get it, right? Because how many epic books can you have? Because then you have so many epics in the schedule every month. This is going to bump another one out of the way. So, but in the end, they decided to go with the epic collection. So here you go. The Conan the Barbarian, the original Marvel Years, is now going to be printed in epic collection. For those of you asking me about the out of print omnibus of the original Marvel Years, I think they just went out of print a few months ago, both the direct market and the standard edition. So now Star Wars, this is the stuff I'm usually not allowed to talk about when talking about epics and things. So here we go. Here's a Star Wars epic for you all that have been waiting. The Empire. This is the Empire Volume 6. So collecting Iron Eclipse 1 through 5. That's the Ages of the Empire. And then Agents of Empire Hard Targets. Force Unleashed 2, and then material from A Decade of Dark Horse number 2, and Star Wars Tales 11 through 15. Avengers. Yes! Leather Jacket Years. I get so excited about those. I don't care if nobody else does. I know there's a couple of you that do. Love that stuff. This is the Avengers probably from the early or late 80s, early 90s, I would say. So this is Live, Cree, or Die. It's a collection of all these stories scattered. Oh no, actually, this is the crossover event. Yeah, the crossover event that happened with the Heroes Return. But it also collects stuff from the Bob Harras Leather Jacket Years. So collecting Avengers 365, 378, and 379, and then Iron Man 7, Captain America 8, Quicksilver 10, Avengers 7, and then materials from Avengers 364 and 366. So it does collect that crossover. Awesome. Not in the omnibus, by the way, the Kurt Busiek omnibus, for those keeping track. Heroes Reborn, Captain America. This is a new printing collecting Captain America 1 through 12, Fantastic Four 12, Avengers 12, Iron Man 12, and materials from Heroes Reborn 1/2. Now, I've been asked, I don't know how many times, why isn't number 13 on here? Because number 13 of all those series was a Wildstorm thing. So it was a crossover with Wildstorm characters like the Wildcats and Stormwatch. So copyrights. X-Men Milestones, man, they are pumping these out. I love it. X-Men Milestones Second Coming. So this is the tail end of the Kyle and Yost series. And if you watched my overview of Uncanny X-Force, this is the event that kind of sets up the Uncanny X-Force series. So this collects Second Coming Prepare, X-Men Second Coming 1 and 2, Uncanny X-Men 523 to 525, New Mutants 12 through 14, X-Men Legacy 235 to 237, and X-Force 26 through 28. X-Men Avengers Onslaught number 2. This is volume 2. The last one I think came out last year, if I'm not mistaken, late last year. I know I did an overview of it on the channel. So this collects, let's see here. Man, okay, so if you have the milestones, The milestone leaves out the actual um, crossover events. Like the milestone just covers mainly the X-Men and Uncanny X-Men stuff, as well as the one shots. But it doesn't have things like I mentioned. Actually, I did a video on it. It doesn't have things like Amazing Spider-Man. It doesn't have things like Iron Man or Green Goblin or Incredible Hulk or even Wolverine. It just has pretty much the mutant stuff. So that's what this is. This is pretty much what's going on in the Marvel universe affected by Onslaught. 448 pages, $39.99. The I love these books. Love them. I think I've mentioned them on the channel. I've been doing overviews of them. My daughter has done reviews of them. But this is the graphic novel line right here. And these are the smaller size. The trim size are 6x9s. And I think it's a wonderful way to get kids to read some of this stuff. So you have classic stuff sometimes, like Marvel Verse, the Marvel Verse line that is classic stories reprinted in the smaller format. Um, so this collects like Captain America 100, 255, Fighting Avenger, Marvel Team Up number 13. And then you have the ongoing series, right? Like you have Spider-Gwen Amazing Powers. You have collecting Spider-Gwen 9 through 15, Annual 1, and All New Wolverine Annual 1. Stuart Morris, I'm checking in the chat here from time to time. You missed the announcement of a new huge Eternals omnibus. So it's not a reprint. People in the chat caught that. It's a new additional content added. Now, I don't know if David's still in the chat or not, or if y'all scared him away. But if he is, thank you for watching, sir. He's just making sure I don't mispronounce anybody's names. That's why he's there. Oh, it's the complete collection. Ozma, Dorothy, and the Wizard graphic novel trade paperback. I love this series. I remember when my daughter turned 7, I'm like, oh, okay, she's old enough to read my omnibus. And I'm like, wait, there's got to be an easier way to do this so she doesn't. She was 7 years old. If she drops my omnibus, I'm going to cry. Let's see. David's still here, he said. Ah, okay. The complete collection. So this is another one of the little graphic novel size, small enough. And mainly for kids. This one is $15.99. Page count is 368 pages. And that, as they say, everybody, is that. Let me get back over here to this window. Hey, how's everybody doing? Let's see. You guys didn't manage to scare David away, huh, with all your requests. Oh, no. So thank you very much, David. Thank you to the folks at Marvel for putting this together for us. That was what you saw. I'll be putting this stuff on our social media, like the contents of Eternals, the contents of the reprints. So just to kind of give anybody that missed it from the beginning, as far as the Omnis are concerned, the Omniboo, David clarified that for everybody that thought I made that word up. They are Infinity Gauntlet, the reprint, for $125. Uncanny X-Men Volume 2, the reprint, $100. Venom Omnibus Volume 3, $125. Eternals Saga, the complete omnibus, $125. The Infinity, the Thanos Infinity Stories by Jim Starlin, that one is $100. Let me double check on that one. And Thanos, the Infinity Saga, that's what it's called. Both covers, and War of the Realms, $75. I'll be putting that information on our social media for anybody that wants to. Okay, so David's saying, I think the War of the Realms Omni is incorrect. For anybody that's about to ask me, if anybody knows, it's this man down here. So thank you, David, for clarifying. You just shoot me an email, and I'll put whatever the corrected contents are on our social media. So happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. If you have questions, please let me know in the chat, because like I said, I'm here by myself. David, I could call you up. You can come and join me. It's Friday night. Have a glass of wine with me. Talk about some classy stuff like X-Men Omniboo. Let's see. Omar, why doesn't Marvel supply you with Masterworks for an overview? Um, I think because it's such a small, like they don't really print a lot of them. Because I mean, the fans of the Masterworks are diehard fans, so they don't really get that many. And I'm blessed enough that like David goes out of his way to send me stuff. Like they only get 2 copies of, and he sends me stuff, and I'm very blessed for that. So I don't really try to overstep my boundaries with like, hey, send me this, send me that. Um, but regardless. Thanks, David. Go live with Omar next time. See, David, people want to see you. People want to see you, David. Omar, can I ask your opinion about the upcoming Children of the Atom box set coming out? Sure. What do you want to know? Am I gonna get it? Oh my gosh, it's the Uncanny Omar. If I don't get that, I have to get like somebody needs to take my name badge away. Call up DC and see what they have coming out. They'll link to Amazon will always be useful. You guys. Yeah, we need David to run DC too. Marvel's killing it with the Omniboo these days. They really are. They really are. I think we've all said it on the channel before, and it's just a wonderful a company that actually listens to its fans. Whether it's the reprints or whether it's new Omnis coming out, like it's really cool to have a company like that. I can't think of anybody else. I can't even get a car rental like Enterprise to listen to me when I do my surveys. Let's see. But Omar, you have all that box set material already. Well, most of it. Dude, I have all that stuff in comic book format too. I just love that stuff so much. So yeah, I mean, okay, how do I explain it? It really depends because there's some of my favorite material are in there, right? So it really depends on the story and what it means to me. Here's what's gonna happen. They announce box set 1. I miss out on it. I sleep on it, right? It doesn't come out, goes out of print. Then they announce box set 2. What am I gonna do, man? Right? What am I gonna do? Justin Page, Mr. David is a smart man. He picked the perfect person to collaborate with. Win, win, win. Thank you, Justin. That's really nice. And I agree. David is a smart dude. Not because he picked me to collaborate with, but just because he's a really smart guy that knows how to run that place. And because of him, we have Omnis. Because of him, we have Epic collections. So it's wonderful. Marvel chose the right person to run that department over there. I saw Omar and David mention on a DC subreddit the other day. We are growing. I didn't. I stepped out of the forums and Reddit and all that stuff. So I don't keep up with that stuff. Mainly because I got tired of people just saying negative things, and I try to stay positive, right? And sometimes that's difficult when you see things about you, especially when you're in the spotlight like that. But to stay positive, I kind of stepped away from forums and places like that. So I have this, and then I have my Facebook group. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. Omar gets mentioned on subreddit, comic book subreddits a lot. Oh gosh, I don't know if I want to go check that. All positive. Okay. Thanks, Jaime. Jaime Fuentes. See, I can pronounce those names. Any word on New Mutants Omnibus is going to come out? I know it's the 4th quarter. Oracle, I put the schedule on our social media. So if you haven't, where do I do that? You just look for this on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Just join our social media, one of those outlets. We put the schedules on all 3 of those. Omar, just kidding, man. Don't want to go negative. Philip, one of my favorite people. Everyone wants a Generation X omnibus. I do. But we don't speak for everybody, right? So I'm curious to know about that War of the Realms omnibus, David, if you're still in the chat. The X-Men Volume 1 and 2 getting reprints anytime soon. No. Well, at least I don't, not that I've seen in the 2020. I know Uncanny is, and then of course, the Jim Lee, Chris Claremont stuff. Those are getting reprinted. But as far as the classic Silver Age stuff, no, they are not. Omar, say to David Gabriel, we need a Doctor Strange. Dude, if I told that man everything that you all told me, he would have cut me off. He'd have been like, I'm done talking to that idiot. He is like wanting an Nth Man omnibus. He wants a Malibu universe omnibus. So I try to keep it like generated. Yeah, David. Well, he was in the chat. I don't know if he's still in the chat or not. Surprisingly, you guys were really nice. Like, you all didn't scare him away with all your requests. And David's a good guy. Okay, David said okay on Doctor Strange. There you go, man. That wasn't even a super chat. Man, if that happens, you owe me some money. Who was that? I can't keep up. Who? Somebody was asking about that. Marvel Comics presents Omnibus with the flip cover. Dude, I was just daydreaming about, oh my gosh. Can you all imagine if they do a day one? You know, Riley and I were talking about this, like how they do video games. They have a day one release of video games. But if they ever do that with Omnis, like an omnibus, like that's exclusive for first printing only to direct markets, like the die cut cover of Wolverine number 50. Oh my gosh. You talk about collectors going crazy. David's in the chat. Yeah, so y'all watch your all's mouth, even though it's Friday night. Well, he puts up with me, so I'm sure he's heard it all. The Donny Cates Omni will have Thanos. Okay, cool. So yeah, I mapped. Let me see. The Donny Cates Omni. I think I put Thanos, Death of the Inhumans, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Guardian. Oh, what was the other thing that I put in there? Oh, Silver Surfer Black. That was my mapping. Smash that like button, Minty. Show our boy Omar some love. Thank you so much, Josh. Here's a super chat. David, can you prove you are not just a fake second account that's really... Guys! Can you prove you're not just a fake second account that's really is just Omar? Dude, I told you all if I was David, we'd have a New Warriors Volume 2 and 3. Today. I am not David. I made David chuckle. What happened to New Avengers and Ultimate Spidey by Bendis Omnis? They have the Bendis curse. That's my answer. Meaning that Guardians of the Galaxy and Powers and Ultimate Spider-Man and New Avengers are destined to have only one volume. I really don't know. Honestly, man, it could have been anything. Maybe sales. I don't know. Honestly, thrilled with the announcements. Thank you, David, for listening. Looking forward to even more great news down the road. Yes. My dream is Alpha Flight Epics. I think that first omnibus is out of print. It's good. I love that run. That John Byrne Omni. Lots of thank yous for David. I wish I could highlight them all. All things come back around. I'm not sure what he was replying to. So you all go and decipher that. Okay. Generation X for Make Havoc. I have to highlight that. That's like the 5th time he's wrote it. Here's one I saw. Like this, I think one of them got voted in my top 10 most wanted reprints. One of the reprints of Cap's, Brubaker Cap's Omni. Ooh. What characters will get the first volume 5? Conan, right? Yeah, I announced that. Yeah, Conan. Conan and the Marvel Years, volume 5. I answered that. Me. Well, David made it happen, but I answered for you. There you go. Yep, it's already announced. Justin, I answered your question, so you feel free to ask me another one, my friend. I'm reading the Powers Omni right now. It's great. I enjoyed that. That was a fun series that I got really into by Bendis. But honestly, I don't know what happened with volume 2. Omar's using a burner account. I don't even know what that is. Y'all forget that I'm old, guys. I don't know what a burner account is. Is that like a burner cell phone? I do get that reference. ASM will get a volume 5. Y'all want to take some bets on what gets a volume 5 before anything else, huh? You think Amazing Spider-Man before Avengers? Or before Uncanny? Interesting. Let's see. Somebody else wrote Superheroes, Avengers for volume 5. Okay, Omniboo. Y'all make up the silliest names, man. Thanks to David for letting Omar give us all the information. I told him I want him on the show to announce this stuff. I don't want the glory. I want him. He's the guy that makes this happen. So, thank you, David, for picking the best Omni, bro. Oh, you meant me. Thank you, sir. Thank you. David is a good dude. Omar and David are using burner accounts to sell Omnis like drug dealers in the wire. You don't think? Oh, I did leave that out. Yes. I do think Cosmic Ghost Rider will be in there. Sorry, for some reason I think of it as part of the Thanos stuff. I knew about Conan because I watch you like a hawk. So you get another question, my friend. Okay, see, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. If I message David all the stuff you all wanted, I'd get stuff like this. Force Works Omnibus. Dude, just me and you are gonna buy that. That's it. David, thanks for meeting the fans where they are. Plus, thank you to Omar. It is seriously I am humbled to deliver the news. Seriously, I'm just the middleman. When is David on the show to announce stuff? It'll be a press conference. I'll wear a suit. Dude, if we get David back, I'll wear a suit. And I'll make it look like CNN interview. I'll pay extra for my internet access that day and then cancel it right afterwards. We need Ghost Rider epics. Now, would that be Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch? Which one do you like? Putting Thanos and Cosmic Ghost Rider in a Kate's Omni so soon after Thanos OHC seems counterproductive to selling those OHCs. Now, see, there's a man that is about business. I won't wear a suit. Okay, do I have to? Wait, no, that's it to get you on the show, David. I'll wear a suit. That's how professional I'll be. I'll ask you the important questions. Fool Killer Omni, Fool Killer Max, Next Wave OHC, New Universal Omni. That's the stuff people want. What? This is the first time I've heard of a new Universal Omni. I'd be all over that. But Fool Killer Max, I can't even remember who wrote Fool Killer Max. I remember the original Fool Killer. Wear the suit, Omar. Okay, I'll put the suit on. Chinese Ghost Rider needs an Omni. If that Hulu TV show had actually worked out, I'm sure we would have gotten one, guys. I ain't asking David for commissions. He sends me stuff. These Omnis you're pushing, or get hired at Marvel as a consultant. I just Omnis. The Uncanny Omar says, buy this book, or I don't even know. Or be a dork, or die, or try. I don't know. I don't even know what my blurb would be on something like Uncanny X-Men. That would be awesome. Okay. Why does it seem that Marvel is so hesitant to reprint the Wolverine and the X-Men Omnibus, or at least put it out in 2 or 3 complete collections? They have to know it's in demand. Thanks, Omar. Wolverine and the X-Men, that Omnibus was voted in the reprint. Honestly, I don't know if they're hesitant. I just they probably see a little bit of they have to see what the sales are originally. But I do remember that book and Uncanny X-Force. I remember those were the 2 books that pushed me to start ordering Omnis the first week. Because I remember them selling out in an unusual amount of time. Like normally books would sell Omnis, at least Omnis, would sell out. I could wait. I'm like, I'll just wait 6 months, 7 months. But those, I remember those two, they sold out in less than a year, and I'm like, oh man, I think collectors are starting, like that collector mentality started to get to some people, and they started like people were buying more and more. Hmm. This is a question for you, David. Now, look, I'm the middleman asking questions. If you're still in the chat, what title would you have loved to see collected into an omnibus when you were growing up? Excellent question, Trigonosis. Toast to you, my friend. Every time I see you guys say Super Pro, I keep thinking you want Ennis the Pro. I don't think there's enough material for that. David's answer, Fantastic Four. Wait a minute. Wasn't that the first omnibus? So you made your childhood dreams come true, David. That's awesome. And look, because you wanted that, all these people now enjoy it. Because of that Fantastic Four and because of that dream. That's a beautiful story, man. I would have made that business go under with my new Warriors ideas. The world was not ready. Spider-Man reprints and more wine for the host. Well, I promised my wife I was going to drink wine with her a little bit later, but I'm here with you fine folks, and she's wonderful enough to give me time with you all because it is Friday night. What are we talking about? What volume 4 are y'all talking about? Oh, Fantastic Four volume 4. Man, wait a minute. This is why I need David on the show, so he can be the one that says it. Who started the omnibus format, Marvel or DC? I'll wait for David to reply to that one. Ha! The Omniboo that were shown tonight are not all coming out in 1 month, by the way. Remember, the dates are always subject to change. I say that to cover. And the answer to who came up with the omnibus format, Marvel or DC, from the man himself, David. David and Marvel came up with it. Omar, if your wife told you to sell your omnis, what would your response? What would my response be? I'd call David and be like, "Hey, man, I'm coming up to New York. I'm gonna be single, and I'm bringing a bunch of my books with me." That would be my response. And then later on, I tell her through text message, "I'm out." She'll know what that means. You can't come between a man and his omniboo and divorce. When can I start pre-ordering these? Aha. So here's more of that story. See, these are the kind of questions I would be asking him on the show. Tom Brevoort. I'll blame that on the one. I never knew how to pronounce his name. Coined the name Omnibus. So there you go. He would have her committed. You know what's funny? And I wish he was down here to tell this story. Like when we first started dating and I started getting these, like she wanted to read one. I can't remember what it was. And I said, whoa, wait a minute now. I've had these books for like 3 years. You and I, we've only been dating for a month or two. It's going to be a minute. We need to develop a trust. I remember she got so mad at me because I didn't trust her with my top tier. I was like, you can have some trade paperbacks, have at it, baby. But those are top tier books. Do not touch my omnis. This is a good question for David. Does David have every Omni in his collection, and what is his favorite? It's a good question. David, do you have every omnibus? And what is your favorite? Where's Madeline? Probably out dancing and drinking like a normal person her age. So David has every Masterwork variant, but doesn't have the space for the Omniboo. Oh, David, you need to get you out of New York, man. You come to Kentucky, get you a big basement, for tornadoes, and great place for your books. We'll run we'll run Marvel from Kentucky. No one saw that coming. There was another question. There's so many good questions tonight. I wouldn't let my partner read my omnibus. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I can't do Omniboo. Philip Evans, you get rid of that attitude. It's Friday night. Look at all these wonderful things Marvel are giving us for the fourth quarter. Not only the fourth quarter of 2020, man. I just announced Eternals. It's a big omnibus. And to answer the question, the favorite Masterworks are Champions and Kill Raven. David Gabriel, just want to say that Omar has a fan base halfway across the world. Oh, thanks, Mudith. Thank you so much. You folks are kind. Atlantis Attacks. You guys in Atlantis Attacks. I wonder how Mr. David got into Marvel. It's a good story. Maybe when I get him on the show and I'll interview him, y'all can hear it too. I'm scared to let others read my Omniboo. Well, it would be cool to have a boo to read Omniboo. Y'all got jokes tonight, huh? I wouldn't mind an Atlantis Attacks reprint. For some reason, is it Atlantis Attacks and what's the other one that you all joke about? I love Avengers: The Crossing. I don't care what you all say. That is one of my favorite books. I remember telling David on the phone I was going to custom bind that book myself, and then they announced it the day that I remember I was going to get it all prepped, take out the staples, and get it all sent out to. I can't remember who was even doing those books back then. And then they announced it. Oh man. All right, catching up. 3 a.m. in Norway watching Omar stream. No regrets. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate all you that stayed up. Um, it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad David was able to jump into the chat, answer some questions for you all. Get some alcohol in you, and any name will sound good. I'm notorious for mispronouncing people's names. For a guy that has a hard last name to pronounce, I don't know why. 2 a.m. in London, 7:30 in Sri Lanka, and Saturday, no regrets. Thank you all. Man, there needs to be a Roger Stern Avengers Omni. Somebody mentioned Roger Stearns earlier. Oh, it was the Doctor Strange run of Doctor Strange or Roger Stern. Yes, I love that. But then there would be two, right? He wrote a long run of Avengers. I do feel like Santa is here and I should make a wish list. Shout out to my buddy Josh. 6 p.m. in Los Angeles watching Omar. Slight regrets. You have to question what happened to your life that you're watching this dork. Why would you say that, David? Send your wish list to Omar. Now I see why you picked me. I look like the poor schmuck that would take everybody's wish list. I do reply to everybody. I don't care how tired I am. I remember my wife was like, "Are you drained? You have answered 350 comments today." I'm like, "I think so. I think I'm tired." All right, y'all heard it from the man himself. Send your wish list to Omar. Thanks, David. Honestly, I really do. Ever since I've been doing the announcements, I can see why these people probably like close off their social media. Not just people like David, but anybody that's in this department. Like, nope, I'm done answering questions. I don't know what's gonna be out. Y'all just put up with it, and that's it. Omar's David's filter. Omar's David's omnibus suggestion filtration system. Yeah, no, man. He comes up with that stuff himself. Like a lot of the time, he's like, we got this," and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome. That's great." Because a lot of, I mean, there's so much to be collected. One day, I want my entire basement full of these Omniboo. So Marvel Masterworks are a pretty great deal week one. David will tally the wish list and get an idea for new and reprints for future Omnis. David Gabriel, thank you for Eternal Omnibus. Your work is appreciated. Yeah, send that man your love because um, I'm glad. I remember a few of the comments that I got on some of my videos are like, "You have made David Gabriel a household name in this house," and I like that because I think a lot of these people are really unsung heroes. Yes, I love my writers, I love my artists, but for me, like the superstars for these books that I love so much have always been the people that that's why on my overviews I have to show the people behind that do these books, that put the books together. So there are a lot of unsung heroes. Thank you, David, for making it through the first conversation with Omar and not cutting him off. I joke about that all the time. I'm like, if y'all could have, I'll tell that story when he actually joins me because he knows this story. If y'all could have seen me talking to him, y'all would have been making fun of me. So I was like like I was with my kids, like pacing, waiting for my kids to be born. Uh, yes, thank you, David Gabriel. You are a star. Am I growing a beard back? No, I just felt lazy this week. David Gabriel, thank you so much for reprinting Infinity Gauntlet Omnibus. Thank you for all you do, David. Thank you for all you do. Here's one. Thank you for all you do, David. And Omar. I appreciate that sliding me in there. I don't really do much, guys. It is really my humble pleasure to just get to announce the news to you all because I know how much joy I get out of it. And going through each one of these books, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And to be able to share it, that's why I do live shows for the solicitations like this, because I like people just, man, getting all hyped up. Omar, how many big names in the industries do you know besides David? David is my rock star. Like I've met, I think I've talked about my when I used to write articles for a magazine, mainly manga and anime, and I've met several people. Several of my favorite voice actors, like Peter Cullen, who used to do the voice of Optimus Prime. I don't like. There's only a few people I think I would be nervous talking to. One of them is David, because I just appreciate all the work he's done. Chris Claremont, like that interview I did with Chris, I don't know how I did not pass out. No idea how I did not pass out when I interviewed Chris Claremont. Thanks, Omar, and thank you, Big David. If that is David, thank you for that's him. He's been in the chats before, just watching, making sure y'all aren't talking about him behind his back. But this is the first time I've seen him interact with everybody. So that's really cool. So y'all must have been civil. Yeah, and I was a little nervous when I met Peter David too. And the thing is, I've interviewed him in the past. And man, he was like, because he was all grumpy and stuff, and I was just trying to break that little uncomfortable barrier. But after a while, he opened up. Make mine marble, my man. I can't keep up. That's why I need you here. See, we'll split screen it. You'll be over there. I'll ask the questions. And they're all easy questions. Um, do you think Marvel will reprint all the X-Men OHC and make new omnibus with the same material? Are you talking about Inferno and Fall of the Mutants? That kind of stuff? I assume that's what you're talking about, the OHC, like the Fatal Attractions. Let me know if that's what you're talking about. Because what I think and what's going to happen, I don't can't thank Marvel enough for Annihilation Omnibus Reprint. Thanks, David. And yes, he still does the voice of Optimus Prime. That's Peter Cullen. If that really is David, what number am I thinking of? Do y'all think David is a supernatural being? Wait a minute now. Where's Nash Villains? Nash Villains. What's the reprint? I got stuff to do. Chop chop. You're like a dude that came late to the party, didn't even bring a dish, and now he's like, "Hey, can I get some food?" It's Eternals, man. But it's not just the reprint. It's like the entire Eternals. So it's the original Eternals omnibus that came out with everything added to it. So that's really awesome. Omar, you told him that everyone here wants a New Warriors Volume 2. What if 7 copies sell? Then he's going to cut me off. And then what's going to happen? So I have to be honest. And, even I don't manipulate any of that, like the reprints or what you all want to see or my personal list. I don't do that. I don't think he's at liberty to answer this question. What is David's most favorite DC omnibus? And which DC omnibus is his most wanted? And why is it Man of Steel? Nobody's going to mention the elephant in the room with Man of Steel. Eternals with Angelina picks in the back for first day buyers. No problem, buddy. Thank you. You've helped me out. So shout out to Nash Villains. He is at liberty to answer. So there you go. Justice League Detroit is his favorite omnibus. That's favorite DC omnibus. Let me clarify. What's your favorite DC omni got canceled? Oh, Oscar did clarify that, yes, he was talking about the looks of Inferno and Fatal Attractions. Sorry, it's a little hard to keep up with the chat. What I think and what's going to happen are two different things, okay? Again, I don't work for Marvel. This is not a Marvel shirt. This is I love my dog, or peace on earth for all dogs, or something. I think Inferno's out of print, right? It's been out of print for a long time, almost a decade. Do the same thing they did with Mutant Massacre. Bring it back as an omnibus. That's what I think. What's going to happen? Two different things. David, thanks for all the work you do to bring us these omnis. Why so long for Inferno? I don't know. Mailbox came alive. Elevator full of kids got eaten. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know the answer to these things. I just said, Brian, you can get Inferno off Amazon. You can get the Milestone. They just released that. So if you want to read it, at least they're doing that. They're putting out all these huge crossovers. The Milestone line is insane. Like, I think we're going to have everything by 2020. All the mutant stuff. Oh, this question was asked earlier and I didn't highlight it. How many kids do you have, Omar? 2. 2 amazing, wonderful daughters that make me proud every day. And I know I sound like a stereotypical dad, but they really do. I don't force any of my hobbies on them. They, on their own, are like, Poppy, can we read this? Poppy, can I read? Like, brings tears to my eyes for my daughters to be wanting to do like the hobbies that I'm into. They come down here and they're so wonderful and like because they're kids. Most of the time when people have collections and everybody's like, "Oh, don't let your kids." Um, well, okay, if I'm including my dog and my cat, four kids. And if my wife's including me, we have 5 kids. But, most of the time when you have collections, you don't let your kids like, "Don't touch that, don't do that, stay upstairs. You're not allowed down here." I never had that issue. I am very blessed. They came down here, and at that time when about 10 years ago, I had big statues, and I sold them all off because I was like, "Nah, I think reading is for me." So they themselves were like, "Yeah, we're not supposed to touch that. Is it okay?" They would always ask, "Can I touch this? Can I read this?" So I'm very blessed in that way. Anisenti and Nishenti Daredevil Omnibus. Those Marvel miles or the X-Men milestones are rocking. This is a dark question. Omar, which of your kids will get your collection? None. It will all be buried with me like the mighty kings of old Egypt. Nah, I'm kidding. Both of them. Whatever they want. I'm waiting this summer. I'm gonna get Lydia into X-Men. That is my goal. That is my big goal. What is Strider's? That's what I was worried about. I was worried about my dog Strider coming down here, and nah, he's been pretty cool too. Omar, what age do you let your kids touch the Omnis? Lydia was 8 years old when she read Miss Marvel Omnibus Volume 1. And it was the cutest thing ever because she said, "I'm done with this." She read it in one day at 8 years old because she had been reading things like Charles Schulz's Peanuts and the complete collections. I think I've told that story where she's read like all the books. So she read the first omnibus and she said, "Can I have the next one?" And she said, like I had to explain to her about the omnibus. I was like, "Well, baby, there's not a volume 2 for Miss Marvel yet. We have to get like the oversized hardcovers." And she was like, "What? Why don't they release a volume 2?" At the time, not all the stories were out, but I had that conversation with my 8-year-old about the Omnis and the way they're released. Achievement connecting with Omar and all of you. Dude, David. Nah, man, dude. I've told David like best day and like was when he reached out to me. Like, and I've told him before, like I thought it was somebody messing with me, and e- and then when we had the phone call, like I was like, no, he knows this is legit. Like this guy's real, or he did a ton of research to mess with me. So, in all seriousness, now I thank you, David, for reaching out to me. Seriously, it's been wonderful, and it's been good connecting with you all and Marvel and learning a lot of behind the scenes, and telling the viewers how things work or why some things don't come out the way you do. So, thank you, David. Seriously, and everybody, same thing. Thank you. Stay classy, David. Uh, wow, no volume 2 of Miss Marvel broke your 8-year-old's heart. Eventually we got the hardcovers, so yeah. David and Omar, same person confirmed after that. I'm gonna get David on the show, man. That's it. I'm gonna call David up so y'all can see we're not the same person. I don't flatter myself ever. Dude, David is the greatest of all time. Smart luck. I'm sorry you said this earlier and I didn't highlight it. I'm so sorry about that. David, Marvel has the best collected editions department in the business, and I completely agree. Like it is literally what every other company should aspire to be. Isn't that how David found you? He saw your free comic book day video with the family. Yeah, I think so. Like when we first talked, he said that was one of the videos that he saw that somebody forwarded him, and yeah, and then after that, he saw a few of my other videos, and then we started talking. And he is a great guy to talk to, not just about Omnis. He is a really good dude. David on the show once a month would be great. He is a busy guy. The fact that he actually answers my emails is freaking crazy. Like he is probably the busiest guy, and he still takes time to answer me. I am so humbled by that. While reading comics in public places, have strangers said crazy or strange things to you? No, I read I read the Conan, the Roy Thomas Conan omnibus on the beach with my wife. Nobody looked at me like, maybe I would have said maybe like in the 80s and 90s somebody might have looked at me weird, but not really. I think it's just become part of pop culture. And I don't want to use the words like it's more acceptable now because it's just, I think, because because of shows like Big Bang Theory, that it's just become a part of pop culture. So people kind of know these things. And of course the movies, right? People will know these characters from the movie. So why would they look at anybody differently? Um I remember when I was in high school, people did look at me differently, but I also grew up in Kentucky, so keep that in mind. Uh because I was reading comic books. Omar, it is more acceptable. Okay. I think so. I think the movies have made it come a long way. Should we email David to come on your show? That's how it works, right? No, do not email David. He's a busy guy. Um, he said he might one day. So I would love for him to be on the show. It'd be great for him. I love for him to announce so he could see like your all's reaction like I do. I feel like I'm cheating him out of that. Like I get to announce it. He did all the heavy lifting, and I'm the guy that's going, "Hey, this is coming out." I want him to see how you all react to these announcements because it's great. I love it. David, how do you feel about how there are people who still say comics are only for children? I don't know how David feels, but I can tell you how I feel because that is ridiculous. I hate that mentality. I wish we had. I remember going to Japan, um, a couple times, and love just going into the subway and seeing businessmen in business suits, women, like moms, just reading manga. Right? That's what I would love for this mentality to be here. Everybody just reading whatever they want to. So David's saying, "Show me children who have $150 for an omnibus." Right? Comics are for kids. I've always hated that mentality, even when I was a kid, because I knew I would grow up and eventually read comics for the rest of my life. Marvel movies prove comics ain't for kids, and you don't see kids in comic shops. Only grown men. Wait a minute. I frequent comic stores. Oh, I'm a grown man. Although sometimes I don't think I act like it. I you should announce the omnis like the NBA lottery with the envelopes. I thought about all these little neat things to do to get people hyped up. But I know, and I also realize some people still enjoy the format of reading these things, reading the announcements, right? So sometimes I think I'm just taking forever to do it, but it's just I can't help. I can't hide my passion for these things. So I know there's been a couple comments that are like, "Man, you take forever. Can't you just show us a list?" No, no, because if I get to announce it, then you have to put up with my dorky ass going on about these things for about 3 minutes before I get to the next one. I'm sorry. You can read it later on in Bleeding Cool. Shout out to Rich for all that broke the news. But whatever. I'm not mad. But yeah, if that's like anytime I see these announcements, you're getting my natural reaction. Like, there is no like the day that I announced these omnis coming out was the day, that's bad news at work. I literally came from work. I came here and that cheered me up. Like there was no acting. I was having a horrible day at work. Probably one of the worst news I've ever gotten at a job. And coming in and reading all that to you all, one of the best experiences ever. And then the feedback immediately afterwards, right? Man, nothing like top that. I don't care how bad my day was. That was amazing. We should all boycott Bleeding Cool. My man, Brian. Thank you. Gotta go. Crying baby. Thanks, Omar and David. David and Omar. Not Omar and David. I'm just the guy that announces the stuff. Which should I get into first? Daredevil by Mark Waid or Brian Michael Bendis? Man, that's a tough question. Because both runs are solid in their own way, right? And honestly, I enjoy both because they're different. Wade's is not that dark, whereas Bendis is this. I will say that Bendis's story ends on a cliffhanger that doesn't get resolved until Brubaker comes on. So if you're reading Bendis's and expect the story to end and everything to be good at the end and wrap up, keep in mind you'll have to go on and read Brubaker's run. But both are great. Oh man, this is tough. Bendis. Frankness. Yeah, her run is great too. Almost got all of it in epic format. Ooh, this is a good question. Omar, besides Chris Claremont, who is your favorite writer? I have a lot. Kurt Busiek. And I just saw the news. Kurt Busiek working, was it with Alex Ross? I literally, I was coming home. We went out to dinner. It was something, it's Alex Ross, Kurt Busiek, and I can't even remember the name of the project. Dang it. But Kurt Busiek, Peter David, Femi Nicieza, Jeff Johns, oh gosh, Roy Thomas. There are a lot. And I think Mark Waid. As far as new writers, I'm a huge fan of Donny Cates. Huge fan of Donny Cates. I really like Kelly Thompson's stuff. Chip Zdarsky blew me away with that the Spider-Man life story. That was awesome. Have y'all read that yet? I know my wife and I pushed it on the channel, but I don't know if you all went and picked it up. I think he is phenomenal. Let's see. Do you think we'll? Oh, sorry. Let me do this one. More wine for Omar. I'm good right now. Thanks, brother. I really appreciate that. Thank you for showing all the love, for all the likes. Thank you, everybody. Do you think we'll get a Peter David Hulk complete run in Omnibus? What I think and what I wish, two different things. What I wish for, oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. I'd love to see his run collected in Omnibus format, and probably in 4. Do I think? Really depends on those sales, guys. You want them to keep making them, you got to keep buying the books, right? I mean that's how it works, right? If volume 1 sold well enough to get a volume 2, will volume 2 sell enough to get a volume 3, right? And a lot of the time, it really depends on pre-orders of things too. So that's one thing to keep in mind. That's how they kind of gauge how much to print. Too much wine and Omar will accidentally reveal new Omnibus. I have no more. You guys know everything I know, and that is dead serious. You guys know everything I know. Like, there are times that I know things, and you all know how good I am at keeping secrets because I can't say anything until David gives me his blessing. I don't say a word. But usually, yes. Like, if I know something, I'm quiet, and now you all know everything. Ooh. Omar, been trying to get my dad to check out comics. He's a huge Westerns movie fan. Any books out there for can he read Spanish? I love Blueberry. As far as Westerns, EC has some collections. There are Humanoids has Bouncer and Son of the Gun. Those are really solid. Cape Horn, even though that's not much of a Western. Man, Rawhide Kid come out with a collection. I'm trying to think of Marvel Westerns. Two Gun Kid, did those guys come out with a collection? I know Jonah Hex had a collection, but it got canceled. The Omnibus got canceled, and I think even the hardcover got canceled. So if your dad likes Westerns, maybe find that route. InStock Trades has both versions of Pat and Hulk both versions of the Pat Hulk Omni at the top of their sales since it came out. It is selling very well. Awesome. Oh, here's one: the Six Gun. It's Colin Bunn series. I'd like to see more Hulk Epic collections that led to the David Omnibus. Oh, I think that's what Volume 15 is going to be. I think that's what I thought. Ooh, look at this cool behind the scenes, guys. We just chose the two covers. We had a contest for the first one. That was a lot of fun. Which cover? Oh, I picked. Wait, David, are you allowed to tell us what the two covers are going to be? You don't have to, but I was thinking if it was going to be the ones that I would have gone for, or you just email me. Keith, I predict there will be an Immortal Hulk Omni in 2021. I think that might probably depend on how well the sales are, and also where he plans to end that story, right? Love seeing more pad info. Okay, Omar, what is your day job and how do you find the time to do all these amazing reviews and videos for NMC? Oh yeah, New Warriors Omni Volume 2 to David Gabriel, please. Broken record. David Gabriel, can I just come hang out with in your office? I bet it's awesome. Hey man, I asked first. I'll just come and hang out. I told him I'd be sitting in the corner by myself, no recording devices, just chilling, just listening. Things go down as he gets people in his office. Just watch people have meetings. That'd be cool. Um, the man's in the chat. Yes, he's been in the chat and replying back to comments too. I'm sorry, Omar. Okay, let's go back to this. What is it that you do? I am an IT network supervisor, international. So a lot of my people work internationally, and I get to work from home a lot of the time. And on my downtime, I'm reading or making videos. And literally, those are my two hobbies. I don't, I work out, but that's not really a hobby. That's just something I want to do because uh, all the health issues my family has had. So I hang out with my kids and my family. So that's practically it. That's it. That's how I'm able to make these videos. I don't. Oh, I'm doing Kempo now with the wife and kids, so I am doing that, and that's how I'm able to squeeze in some time to read and do videos. I record. I've gotten pretty good at it. Sometimes the editing takes me a little bit of time, but I've gotten pretty good at recording like 3 to 5 videos sometimes in a day, and then start making them go live as the week goes on. So sometimes, like, you'll see me with my that little wrist brace that I had on when I hurt my wrist in Kempo. So that's what I do. I work out. Shut up. I do. Not as much as I used to. Let's see. I would say the Hulk 2 cover should be 377 and 379. Let's see how wrong you are, Philip. I would agree with 377. That was one of my guesses too. You need an editor to take the work. Spotlock, you volunteering to be my editor? Come and edit my videos. Oh my gosh. I would love for somebody to edit my videos so I wouldn't have to. That way I could just concentrate on the content. That would be so awesome. Nope, Ben, that's not the way it works. David said, send your wish list to Omar. That's what he said earlier in the video. And then I'll filter it out. Everybody miraculously wants New Warriors Omnibus Volume 2. I don't know. Maybe it was because I hyped it up so much. David, I think it's time to hire Omar. There isn't a better person out there who deserves to be. Oh, dude, you're too kind. I told David I would be an intern. I'd come and be an intern over there. Okay, so David hasn't replied, so maybe he's not allowed to say which two covers they picked for the Peter David Hulk Omnibus Volume 2. But that was a fun little contest we had for the Volume 1. Omar, was the contest for the Marvel Masterworks 300? Was it shown earlier in the video? No, but one of the Masterworks I'm announcing tomorrow was revealed. So the contest, all of the, yeah, that's off right now. So I've taken all the comments, and I will be announcing it tomorrow morning, what the 7 are and what the number 300 is. So watch the channel for that. Tiger eyes. I'd like older events in Omni, House of M, Avengers Disassemble, etc. Wow, I'm still going. I am! Dude, it's Friday night. I ain't got nowhere to go. Actually, I got a few more minutes, and then I gotta go upstairs and drink a little wine with the wife and kind of relax the rest of the evening. I love these comments you are leaving. Thank you all so much. Do you know if the Carnage Omnibus will get a reprint? I don't think that's on the. It's not in the list for 2020, and I don't think that's going to be reprinted anytime soon, as it probably went out of print just recently. Would love a volume 2 of Ultimate Spider-Man. Tip of the hat, Omar. Appreciate all your work. I'll be sending my wish list. Guys, I think David was joking. Do not send me any more lists. I have to read through freaking hundreds of them every week. Can't wait for the Absolute Carnage Omni. Yeah, me neither, man. That's going to be great. So glad they decided to do that. Omnibus format. X events on epics versus milestones. Will they show up? If you watch go back and watch the X-Force Executioner song, Milestone versus the Epic Collection. I did talk a little bit about the differences and why it's collected that way. I think it all really depends on how the main event like affects the ongoing stories. So if it's like an X-Force centric story, like Executioner Song was, they'll probably put it all in there. Omar, you need to grab those Transformers Regeneration 1 trades. Finally read them. Was awesome for G1 fan. I will. How many hours do you sleep? Not enough, brother. I think I get like 5 to 6. I know I need more. I know I need more. Is the Carnage Omni sought after? I think it's out of print now, Josh. So I bought Symbiote Addict, but I have no idea about the Gen Pop's preferences. Omar, what do you want more? Extreme X-Men Omni or Ultimate X-Men Omni? Chris Claremont or Mark Miller? Chris Claremont, man, come on. Extreme X-Men, yeah. But that's me. I know there's a huge fan following of that Ultimate X-Men universe, but me, I'd take an Extreme X-Men. Because, I mean, we have X-Men Revolution, right? So it would be a cool omnibus to come off of that. Because when that omnibus ends is when Extreme X-Men take over. So it'd be great. Need more of that if you're going to work out. Why is that in quotation marks? I don't appreciate that. No, you're right. I do. I think on weekends I try to get 8, like a normal human being. But usually during the week, 5 or 6. I don't know. I just there we are. Thank you for staying. I was frozen. So for those of you that stayed, thank you. Think that was the internet, man, or God's way of telling me to call it a night. So thank you, all of you, for watching. And of course, I get frozen when I'm like in the mid sentence like this, like an idiot. Of course, that always happens. So, uh, thank you all for watching, for tuning in. Thank you, David, Gabriel, the folks at Marvel for putting this stuff together. Um, thank you, David, for joining the chat and talking to these guys, to let them know that I did not make you up and you are not a subconscious like Fight Club. You guys have been great. Thank you all. If you want these books when they come out, please don't forget to check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, where they have sales up to 50% off, sometimes 90% off when the stuff is clearance. And that is cheapgraphicnovels.com. Check them out. They have all kinds of clearance and liquidation sales all the time. And if you tell them near mint condition sent them to you their way, then they will give you free shipping on your next order. Thanks, Omar and David. Yeah. Thank you all. Seriously, this chat had been great. Thank you. Have a good night. And remember, if it's classy. Oh, David, you're still in there. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. If it's classy and cool, it must be near mint. I'm going to go drink some wine with the wife. You all have a good and safe night.